Here we go with our deep dive of the lower port of the lower level, Lower Skullport. All right, so first here we have the pierced navel, where the players can get tattoos. It's just on the corner of the old slave market. This is the old slave market. So the players can come here and get a tattoo. If you want to learn more about that, you need to buy the supplement, the Skullport DMG, which has details about that, which are great. Then we can go here to the old slave market. At the old slave market, there are actually some people of different races being sold. So that should really stir the conscience of your players so they can intervene and save actual humans as well. Then over here we have Dead Man's Corner, where Olive Stillwater has her shop. And what does Olive Stillwater look like? Let me show you. There she is, lovely. She has seashells on her skin. She's a sea hag. Here at Dead Man's Corner, the players can see lots of body parts in jars and the brains in jars and other things being preserved. And Olive Stillwater sells organs and body parts and brains. And there's even in the Skullport DMG, there's an idea for an encounter here with an illithid buying a brain. Anyway, check out the DMG for more detail on that. Then here at the old slave market, like I said, we have people being sold, bought and sold, and you have Duergards and their thugs. They're guarding these slaves, and yeah, it's quite upsetting. Anyway, so then we have Thimblewine's pawn shop right here, and this is Crystalline Thimblewine's place. They can buy and sell general goods here, but at 5 times the price. Yikes. She's a rock gnome, and she's the niece of the previous owner who has died. Okay, now moving on, maybe to the north. Here's the Troll's Guffaw. The Troll's Guffaw, according to our wonderful DMG, is a rustic theater. And it has room for lots and lots of people. And it used to have shows, real shows, but now it's just doing propaganda for the Xenothar's Guild. And every show that they do, it just ends with the Xenothar's Guild being the hero. And then, yeah, as you can see here, we have a major label for this section, the Lower Port. We're doing an in-depth dive of the Lower Port. Okay, then we have the Black Tanker. That's run by this Troon Stonedark, which is a very nasty guy. Here he is. He's an older Duergar, and he runs the place for the Xenothar's Guild, and anybody who can't show quickly that they belong to the Xenothar's Guild gets thrown out. Then here we have Old Fish Market, and here's the Bruised Blade. Now this is where the players can come to do some fighting. If they want to do some one-on-one fighting, they can come and do it here, and they can gamble and try to win some money. And there are different possible opponents of different humanoid races: gladiator, bugbear, chief, hobgoblin, thug, many possibilities. All right, and then moving on. Right, there's some nondescript buildings you can always put your own things into. Some of them could just be abandoned. Here we have the drowned buoy, which is like a poor man's inn, a very poor man's inn. It's basically just mats on the floor. So for very poor characters, they can come and rest here. All right, now let's go into the town. The sea chest is what used to be a shop, a shield dwarf's shop where he sold boxes and strong boxes, but he was murdered by an illithid and his brain was eaten out. And the Xanathar's Guild, according to the DMG, he's a member of the Xanathar's Guild. And you can see more there. All right, now here we go to Geod's Distillery. Geod is a dwarven brewer, and he brews different kinds of alcohol, and he can use something you harvest from a monster. What is it again? Cave fisher blood. He buys that at 10 gold piece a pint and makes broom fits. Anyway, lots of juicy details. Different. He's also willing to buy hops and things like that because he's trying to make alcohol down here, and everything is in short supply. So he pays top dollar for common things on the surface world. Okay, things that are common on the surface world. Anyway, okay, so here's the glowing the Midson mast. Oh no, that's for another time. That is for part 2 of the in-depth dive. So is the glowing gumfish. We're not looking at that now. Oh, have we finished all the lower port areas? Yes, we have. Okay, that's it. All right, everybody, please like and subscribe and comment and share. And I hope this is useful to you. If I was planning to DM this, it would be useful to me. So I thought I'd make it for you guys. It helps me to memorize it too. I didn't develop this stuff. I'm using the original material, the original Dungeon Masters or Dungeon of the Mad Mage. I'm also using Roll20, as you can see. So I bought that and the map and everything. But I made all these labels myself, and also I used the Skullport DMG from the DM's Guild, and I used the Companion from the DM's Guild. So I use 3 different sources, and the 4th is Roll20 itself. So I use 4 different sources to build this. So I'm just sharing, and hope you guys find it useful. Thank you for listening. I'll make part 2 about the lower trade lanes, and part 3 about the lower heart. So stay tuned, subscribe, make sure you subscribe. Okay, cheers. Hello everybody, thank you for joining me again. Let's continue with our overview of Lower Skullport. So we finished the lower port in our previous video, and now we're going to do the lower trade lanes. It's just a few areas. Let's take a quick look at them. So over here, let's move our adventurers up. We have Skull Square, which is an old market square that's entirely abandoned. Litter and refuse left here will occasionally float around and dance through the air as if carried aloft by an invisible wind. So yeah, not very exciting. Then we have the Tawdry Nymph. This is a place where adult entertainment is available, and the Shadow of Waterdeep guide has lots of interesting and fun details for players who want to really look into that. Okay, then we have, and it is run by a human woman named Good Morning Starshine. It's seen better days, and there's a Goliath veteran named Griggs, who's the bouncer. Okay, moving on. Down here we have the glowing gumfish. Glowing gumfish is is where players can buy, or adventurers can buy supplies for fishing gumfish. The owner of the shop is a lizard folk named Othket, and he's very good at it. Then there's over here the mizzen mast, which is where players can get ship repairs or have small, nothing bigger than a rowboat constructed. The mizzen mast, which is owned by an old human man by the name of Fainly Deaf. And he takes commissions for shipbuilding, and his work is of great quality. Then on the right here we have the boneyard. The boneyard has a bullet skull hanging over the door, and the owner is a Duergar named Delphin Hurl. And inside the building is decorated with bones of all sorts. And these are for sale, so players who are into perhaps animating dead might be interested in buying bones there. And here we have the Violet Iris hideout, which is not open to player view unless some quest leads them here. It's a secret cult hideout, so they do all kinds of terrible rituals and things down there. Now let's see what is left. I think that's everything for the... Oh yes, there's the sea chest. The sea chest is over here. And we talked about that. That's where that shield dwarf was murdered by that mind flayer, and its brain was eaten out. Anyway. Okay, that's all the areas and NPCs in the lower trade lanes. Next up, we're going to cover the third area of the Lower Skullport, which is the Lower Heart. And it has a lot of very interesting locations coming up to you soon. So please subscribe, subscribe, share. Thank you very much for enjoying my videos, and please tell your friends, and I hope they're very useful to you. Thank you. Hi guys. Okay, so let's see. This is the lower heart of Lower Skullport. Last video was about the lower trade lanes. Let me zoom out just a little. The first in-depth video was of lower port, so make sure you don't miss that. Okay, and then so lower trade lanes was the second video. Now we're starting with the lower heart. Okay. The lower heart has the following places of note. The Flagon and Dragon. The Flagon and Dragon is a very important place for good NPCs, because this is where they can find rumors from Kal Al Kladani. That's a mouthful. And she can give them lots of useful rumors about the area, and she sells different kinds of, of course, refreshments. And yes, check out the Shadow of Waterdeep guide for detailed rumors, but you can imagine what she might be able to tell the players. She knows a lot of things. All right, let's move on. The Guts and Garters is where the players are likely to stay at an inn. Quietude is the proprietor, and he's a spy for Xanathar, no surprise. But he keeps it under wraps, and he spies on guests. This same inn has a secret door that allows a mind flayer to come in and feed on guests. So the players are likely to get attacked. One of them is likely to get attacked this first day. All right, moving on to the Feathered Rat. This is a pet shop where Elvira Snowveins runs the show. She can be encountered at the Black Tankard, drunk out of her mind because she feels so guilty about the other adventurers that she's sent on the quest. Anyway, if the players help her out and are nice to her, she might tell them everything. Okay, then moving on, we're going to the going to Thaglar's Foundry, where it's a smithy, where lots of Durgar, including Thaglar Sundorn himself, are making weapons, armor, and tools. So players can buy these at 5 times the normal price. Over here we have the Pointed Pipe, which is where all kinds of illicit substances can be bought. And details are available, and also rules for addiction and dependency are in the Shadow of Waterdeep guide. So I can't go into detail about that, obviously. All right, then here we go. The Sword and the Sextant is where 2 halflings live, and they make maps, and there are interesting options for players to get Oleander and Will to make maps of the upper levels. Okay, and then down here we have Mama Rutterkin's Preserves, and she's an old lady who makes actually she's a young human woman who runs a shop, Gwendolyn Rutterkin, and she sells preserves of all kinds. And she inherited the shop from Gwyleth Rutterkin, and so you can buy jellies, jams, and pickles from 5 copper pieces to 5 gold pieces, depending on how hard it is to make and such. Okay, and over here we have the Dark Market. At the Dark Market, the Dark Harvest Market, there are Durgar, and they sell they sell things that can be harvested in the Underdark. So you can imagine how appetizing that is. Things like ripple bark, barrel stalk, blue bread, gumpfish. Right. Okay. And those are the main areas of the lower heart of Skullport. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, please post them in the comments. And the more likes I get, the more encouragement I feel to make more videos. So thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. Catch you on the next one.